Hello and welcome to EnergyCare interviews. My name is Michael Hundelt, and you'll probably have already known about Brandy here, the office dog. Today I'm going to introduce to you one of our clients, a very special lady, Kathy. And what's your last name again?
Burch.
Burch. Okay, awesome. And we're just gonna have a little fireside chat about what we were able to accomplish together for her home. So, Kathy, when did you first hear about EnergyCare?
Well, I had a stroke in 2019, April, and I was declared legally disabled in June of that month, that year, excuse me. So my life kind of changed, and I really was able to get a lot of information from a lot of different places. Mainly where I found out about wonderful EnergyCare was through the Paraquat organization, where I had a lot of aftercare, and still do, at the Orthwine Center and with the Logan Clinic. Also from my alderwoman, Carol Howard. I was very fortunate to learn about you and to learn that I was in the zip code that you offer. So I called, and then your Jana was so good to help me apply, and it was really a godsend to me, because I have been self-employed, and I was very blessed, but with the stroke and then the pandemic coming,
Yeah.
life changed, and this was a pretty extensive repair I needed, and
Was it a furnace?
yes, and it's hard. I'm just a person. It's hard for me to ask for help.
Right.
And but the stroke did humble me. So, that's how I learned about you all.
Very
and
good.
the repair's been done, and it was great. And I'm very grateful to you all.
That's awesome. We're very glad to help. So before life happened, you were pretty active in donating to charities and.
Yes, I was always on the other side. I always tried to be a giver when I could. One story I like to share, I was very fortunate to be able to be self-employed for 40 years.
Whoa.
I had a cleaning service, and I had a very, very impressive clientele. And there's the old saying, too much has been given, much is expected. And I get emotional sometimes talking about it.
Oh, that's all good. Take your time.
But I was privileged to witness that for 40 years, these people giving and never being, expected to be recognized.
Right.
They just knew it was their social responsibility.
Yeah.
So sometimes that makes me sad when people of means are so criticized these days, because they are very generous. And I am very grateful. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm very grateful that I got to witness that.
Nice. Yeah.
But I always made sure that when I was able to give, I did. So it's different to be on the taking side, but I sure am appreciative you were here.
Mm-hmm.
I think she knew
Yeah.
I needed her.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Brandy. So, yeah, and it's you never know what's going to happen in life, and
No.
and it's great that St. Louis is such a giving town, and
Yes.
And that we have this social safety net that catches people when they fall through the cracks.
Yes.
And one of the specialties that EnergyCare does is to catch folks that are in need to not freeze or not boil in their houses, and we do that by distributing heaters, blankets, paying down utility bills. Do we help you with the utility bills?
Yes, at the same time that I applied for the EnergyCare, I was also put in contact with the Franciscan uh, uh, Help
Oh, cool.
Network. And they helped, and also you did too. I had a large heating bill. I've always been able to try as much as I could to always keep up. This has just become recently, something new to me,
Sure.
But I'm just so grateful to EnergyCare. I can't say it enough.
Yeah, no, we understand like the stories that we hear from clients are heart-wrenching, and it just you can't there's no way to you can't judge people on what they're going through, and so we're just here. EnergyCare is just really good about being the emergency contact number.
Yes.
For things, and so outside of the heaters and the utility assistance, we teamed up with Spire, and that's who paid for the repairs on your furnace.
Yes.
And so we shout out to Spire there and their Red Tag program, and then we have in the summertime we do window air conditioners for folks. And so yeah, it's pretty rewarding to be able to help somebody in their hour of need, especially with stuff that's so it's like basic needs,
Yes.
Housing and food, and shelter is one of the top ones that people kind of take for granted, and having a roof over their head is good, but not having that the infrastructure of your home not be efficient is taxing on itself. How old is your home that?
Well, I think she probably dates back to about 1926. It was a piece of property that I've owned since about 2000, but I did not actually live there until, about 2017. But I guess God had the plan for me, because it's a very small house. It's only about 625 square feet, but it's just enough for what I need.
In the Bebo neighborhood. Right?
Yes, It's very, very efficient for me, and I think, after having the stroke, I mean, with it being that small, I'm able to stay in my own home. But of course, it being of an older home, and of course it wasn't the original furnace, but it needed an extensive repair.
Right.
The venting needed to be done.
Yeah.
And it was really it was a health hazard, and I was very appreciative of your program to assist me in that.
Cool.
And Inspire was wonderful in coming quickly.
Yeah, it's kind of a sad state of affairs on the housing stock in St. Louis. It just so happens to be that St. Louis has the second oldest housing stock in the country.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so like more than 75% are homes that are built before 1950, and so that's the same old story. Like you think that a house could last for 100 years, but the HVAC system only lasts like 10 to 20 years, and that's the greatest resource we have for energy efficiency and battling climate change with reducing the carbon footprint is replacing appliances and light bulbs and everything that you can imagine that is more efficient with power. It will inevitably create a more healthy environment, breathing wise, but also economically, since you don't have to build out more capacity for all the new homes, and so it's one of EnergyCare's goals is to focus in on intervening in homes that are older and bringing them up to energy efficiency standards. Not only just helping the homeowner, but kind of accomplishing a longer term goal of reducing the carbon footprint in the city of St. Louis for a numerous number of reasons. But it's a great example of your house that we were able to to come in and help update the
Yes.
furnace. So I'm assuming that the bill has gone down a little bit.
Oh, yes, quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, I'm been very fortunate. I was able, before the stroke, to keep up with everything, but, that was a game changer.
Yeah, entrepreneurship is a tough road. Like a lot of people take for granted the big corporations that they might work at with pensions and retirement funds, and when it's all on you, it's so much harder to get insurance and have their retirement set up, and so we take that for granted. And I commend you on such a long stretch of entrepreneurship.
It was truly a blessing, and every day I woke up being very blessed to go to work and meeting the wonderful people.
Yeah.
And like you said, St. Louis has a lot of wonderful people.
I bet.
I think it's very understated.
Sure.
And like I said, I met so many people that knew their responsibility.
That's a cool experience. Like they say that you should surround yourself with people that are smarter than you and then are more successful.
Yes.
So they rub off on you.
Yeah, I learned a lot from a lot of wonderful people, and I learned a lot about the history of St. Louis, which I love. And
You're from here?
Yes, I grew up.
Where'd you go to high school?
Oh, well, I started at St. Mark's, which was city, and then my parents moved to Webster Groves, so I finished my last 2 years at Webster Groves. But I always had a love for the city of St. Louis, so I came down here in the early 80s to the city with my 2 daughters. So.
Yeah, city living is definitely different than county living. But unusually, EnergyCare actually has had more and more clients in the county.
Interesting.
Because of the housing stock there has become dilapidated as well, especially in the North County, and so people are in North City generally are kind of going west because of the disintegration of the infrastructure there. There's just nothing to rely on. But we hope that St. Louis has like a resurgence. And
oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
I think it will.
Right.
I know my neighborhood, Bevo, is a wonderful place to live. And I really have a lot of good faith that the north side, I hate to say north side, south
Right.
side,
Just St. Louis.
just St. Louis. I think we're all going to see a big resurgence. I hope so. Well, that's why I came down here in the early 80s, and never regretted it.
Yeah, Bevo has a really great story behind it with the Bosnians.
Yes, yeah.
And how they came in and really took ownership of the place and established a really tight community, and made it safe and built out all the stuff that Bevo has to offer. And then there's just a great little landmark with the Bevo Mill that's left over from the Bush family, and which has its own little funny story. Like from Grant's farm to the stadium, they wanted something in the middle so that they can
To the brewery.
to the brewery.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
to the
yeah.
brewery. Yeah.
Stadium didn't come till later on. But no. Yeah, it was.
That's right.
It's halfway between the brewery and their home at Grant's Farm. Yeah, that's true.
And it's a testament to their lineage, and there's been a lot of German immigration in St. Louis, especially out west with like the Missouri Rhineland type of communities. But Bevo is a great example of how people from all walks of life and different orientations and from different regions of the world can come in and take what was not so great for raising kids, and now there's a lot of families here. Even though it's still moving up in the world, lots to do.
Yeah, all the neighborhoods change at some point. That's what noticed.
Yeah, so most of the Bosnians have moved out west.
Yeah, that's interesting you said that about the Bosnians, because South St. Louis, in her long history, has always been welcoming to all different types of immigrants, from all the different world wars,
Right.
We were always the welcoming, I guess, port.
Sure.
So it's kind of, it's interesting, the whole history of,
Yeah.
of St. Louis.
Well, I guess that's all we got for today. And thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming by and spending time with us and sharing your story. It was really really touching to be able to see more about what EnergyCare does and who we help. And so we're super grateful for you coming down here.
Oh, thank you. I'm very, very grateful to you all, and it's a wonderful, wonderful program, and I wish you many years of success.
All right, great.
Thank you.
So that's it, folks, for this episode of EnergyCare's interviews. Again, this is Michael, and
Here she comes.
and of course is Brandy, our office dog, and we're wishing you guys a happy and healthy spring. So goodbye for now. See you on next episode.